Brad Marchand silenced every critic inside TD Garden with one moment that no one expected. His return to Boston wasn't filled with words or headlines. It was built on action. After years of debate over his move and his reputation, Marchand let his play and his reaction on the ice deliver the only answer that mattered.
The Stanley Cup champions of 2011 involved a young player here in Boston. The young Brad Marchand, the Stanley Cup champions of 2025 included Brad Marchand. His jersey will go to the top of this building someday. A beloved.
Brad Marchand returned to TD Garden for the first time since joining the Florida Panthers. He had been traded in March 2025 after 16 seasons with the Boston Bruins. During his time in Boston, he played more than 1,000 games, scored over 400 goals, and won the Stanley Cup in 2011. Before the game started, the Bruins played a tribute video on the big screen. It showed Marchand's biggest moments, his first goal, his captain years, and his playoff wins. The crowd stood up and clapped as the video ended. Marchand looked around, put his hand on his heart, and waved to the fans. The cheers grew louder with each second. For more than a minute, fans kept chanting his name. Some held signs that said, "Welcome back, Marchy." Others wore his old number 63 jersey. When the camera showed Marchand on the bench, he wiped away tears. His face showed how much the moment meant to him.
Definitely some.
Marchand later said that seeing the video hit like a ton of bricks. He explained that careers go by fast and that Boston would always hold a special place in his heart. The emotion in his voice was clear. When the game began, Marchand focused quickly. He picked up 2 assists during the night. The first came in the second period when he helped Eetu Luostarinen tie the game. The second came near the end of the third period, when his pass set up Carter Verhaeghe's winning goal with only 25 seconds left. Florida beat Boston 4-3, breaking their 4-game losing streak. Marchand played 19 minutes, took 3 shots, and finished with a +2 rating. The Panthers coach said his leadership and energy lifted the whole team. Boston fans clapped for him even when he took a tripping penalty in the first minute of the game. The cheers showed that no matter which jersey he wore, the crowd still respected him. Many of his old teammates smiled from the bench as he skated by. For 16 seasons, Marchand had been one of Boston's key players. He joined the Bruins in 2009 and became team captain in 2023. He scored 422 goals and had 976 points before moving to Florida. He ranks among the top players in team history for both goals and games played. His trade to the Panthers marked the end of a long era in Boston. He signed a 6-year, $31.5 million contract with Florida, joining a team that had just come off strong playoff runs. Many people wondered if he could keep performing at the same level after leaving Boston. His first game back answered that. The numbers showed it. 2 assists, 1 win, and a calm, focused performance under pressure. No fights, no penalties beyond the early minor. The facts spoke louder than any opinion. Marchand said after the game that the Bruins fans gave him one of the most emotional nights of his career. He thanked them for their support and said he would always be grateful for the years he spent in Boston. He also praised his new teammates and said the night reminded him how special hockey can be. Throughout his time with the Bruins, Marchand built a reputation as a fierce and driven player. He scored big goals, got under opponents' skin, and always played with full effort. Some critics called him a troublemaker. Others said his energy made Boston harder to play against. In his first night back, none of that mattered. What stood out was the respect. Fans from both teams stood for him. The Bruins honored him with a video. His old teammates tapped their sticks on the boards. During the tribute, pictures of his family appeared on the screen, including his wife and children. When he saw them, his eyes filled again. For a moment, he looked less like a rival player and more like someone coming home. The reaction in the arena said everything. Over 17,000 people stood and clapped for more than a minute. Even players on the ice paused to take it in. The scoreboard lights flashed. The chants grew louder. When the game ended, Marchand met some of his old teammates at center ice. They shook hands and the crowd cheered one last time. He raised his stick toward the stands before skating off. Reporters asked him what the moment meant. He said it reminded him of how lucky he was to play in Boston and how thankful he was for the support. He didn't make any big statements about critics or rivalries. He simply let the night speak for itself. His career numbers remain strong. He ranks in the top 5 for goals in Bruins history and top 10 for points and assists. He also played more than 1,000 games, which puts him near the top of the franchise list. The night showed both sides of his story, the emotional goodbye and the strong performance. It was a moment that joined the past and present. He had moved on to Florida, but his history in Boston stayed alive in the hearts of the fans. From start to finish, every part of the evening followed a simple timeline. The tribute started before the game, the puck dropped at 7:30 p.m., and by 10:05 p.m., the Panthers had won. The facts were clear: 2 assists, 1 win, a 1-minute standing ovation, and a full-circle return. For those who once doubted his focus or questioned his move, that night offered a direct answer. He didn't speak about proving anything. He didn't need to. His actions and the reaction from Boston fans told the story in full. At 7:22 p.m., the cheers began. By the time the clock hit 0, Brad Marchand had done what few players ever do. He played against his old team, helped his new one win, and received the kind of tribute that said more than words ever could.